Now, there's always something going on in the royal household, and this week has been no different. And every Saturday, I love to give you a rundown. And who better to do so than royal biographer Angela Levin? She joins me now. Angela, welcome. We miss you. We'd love you to be here, but yellow looks good on you. So here we are.
Is that my compensation?
Yeah, you look great. So we start with Prince William, because he's opening up for the first time about how awful the year has been for him because of obviously Catherine and his father.
It's very interesting because he doesn't like any journalist who might say to him, "How are you?" or "How is your wife?" or anything like that. He likes it to be very secret. He doesn't want to tell, especially journalists. And then he just bursts open with the most amazing and touching what he feels about life and what he's had in this last year. You know, it's been dreadful, the hardest year of his life, trying to keep on track with his responsibilities and also his wife and his children. But on the other hand, he's very proud of his father, very proud of his wife. But from a family point of view, he said, it's been brutal. And your heart can't go out to him. And people said, other journalists who were there said to him, "Oh, well, you seem in marvellous form now." And he said, no, don't think it. I'm just, doing my job. He's in South America, Africa for the Earthshot. And he covered up what he meant. And it just fell out. And my heart went out to him. It was just extremely moving, I think. Extremely moving that he had all this, two loving family members. And I think, that Harry should be, as his brother, Harry should be ashamed of himself by keeping on and being rude and trying to make his life very difficult and criticising him. I think, when you have somebody who's dealing with that sort of responsibility, then you do your best to keep out of the way if you don't get on. You don't,
Harry hasn't helped much, has he? His brother or his father, has he? I agree with you, he should be ashamed of himself.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, with he's demanded he was seen, so his father can't speak to him because he can't trust him, and you can't actually allow him to talk to his son even, because if they talk at all, then Harry can go off and say to his lawyers, "Oh, he's talking to me, he said this." And it can change the whole attitude of him trying to deal with the government, and the government is part of the responsibility of King Charles.
Well, so let's move on to Harry, though, because he's now running scared because of Trump. Trump has been, interested in the whole visa situation.
Yes, well, I have no doubt that Trump will get it open up and let everybody know what it is. And if he has lied in it, he will absolutely take action. But Trump's son has said that he couldn't care less about him because they think both he and Meghan are nothing and not worth doing anything about. So, there is a sort of, I want to get rid of him, but maybe I shouldn't bother. I've got 3,000 other things to do. And I think that's right. I mean, we saw pictures of Harry and Meghan wearing a poppy and talking about how important it was for children not to be moved into terrible areas by sort of all the things that you do on computer. I mean, they're totally against that. But why did they do that just the day that William was coming back? I mean, they're very careful. They don't just do things just because. It's all planned very carefully. So there they are. And tonight you've got the British Legion Festival of Remembrance at the Royal Albert Hall, and it's wonderful that Princess Catherine will be there. And they usually have, evening dress, so it'll be wonderful to see her looking lovely. The Queen can't come. She's not well enough yet. She's still at her own home, Ray Mill. And she's supposed to be okay next week, but she's obviously not too well. They say they don't want to give it to anyone else. The doctors have told her. But on the other hand, she's still got something. She's still not at the end of whatever it is. She's not well. I think there's so much rain where they were, and they did so much that is exhausting. And she's 77 and very active, but that's you're more vulnerable of catching illnesses, I'm afraid.